And good morning. Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Welcome to the Blue Review. Good morning, Greg. How are we feeling after I'm just shifting my chair there, go off screen. How are we feeling after this series loss to the Giants? I'm gonna get right
I
into it. I want to know your
oh,
feelings,
I
your
mean,
headspace.
it's a loss in a series. You know, you never want a loss in a series, especially to the Giants. But it's July 1st, and they're still way up in the division. And this was just a really bad pitching performance all the way around. So
All the
except
way
for
around.
really Friday, I mean, besides that, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything
Nothing
is fine.
nothing to worry about here. They finished 15-10, and it's not like arms are falling, and we haven't really gotten word back off of some of these dudes who aren't healthy. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong.
No, it's fine. It's just a series.
Yes.
Just
No,
sucks that it's the Giants.
in the end, it's just a series.
Yep.
Yes, as they're mentioning in the chat, Brian Ahmad, glad we didn't get swept. So we'll get into the series a little bit. We're going to talk about what's going on over there at third base because, with no word on Muncy officially, just with how long he'll be gone outside of being on the 68-day IL, what does it mean? Who's going to be there? CT3 is going to get some run, as we're hearing. We're going to get into just some of the arms and the pitching and react to this rough pitching weekend. So before we do so,
Yes, sir.
I want to remind everyone that here at the Blue Review, we are presented by LAX. Our friends at Los Angeles International Airport are changing the travel experience, reducing traffic, saving guests time. And if you want to learn more, you can check it out at flylax.com/transforming LAX. Greg, that's /transforming LAX.
Perfect. I got a stat for you if you want a nice stat.
I love nice stats. Send it my way.
Nice stats, and it's all Shohei Otani. Whenever time you have a Shohei Otani stat, that's a good stat. That's always a pleasant way to start your Monday morning. How about this one? Shohei Otani of the Dodgers is the third major leaguer to have at least 100 hits, 25 home runs, and 15 stolen bases entering July. The others were Alex Rodriguez in 1998 and Larry Walker in 1997, and that's it.
That's seeming to be a common theme here. Is just that's it. With the Shohei Otani stats, it's like, yeah, there is literally one person who's done this, or
it's
just
Shohei
him.
And nobody else, pretty much.
My goodness, yeah. He continued to rake. June Tani is real, and I think that we can kind of react to that a little bit later in this episode because
Sure.
there's just no other way to put it. The guy is possibly the greatest hitter of all time in June, and the stats back it up. So.
I mean, he's possibly the greatest hitter of all time in every month. So
that's true.
He's on his way. He's not there yet. He's not the greatest hitter of all time. Don't everybody go crazy. He's not, but he's on his way to being that guy. He's just not yet.
Yeah, he always has that like asterisk next to him. If whatever, he stays healthy, blah blah blah. But if you continue this trajectory, he could be the greatest hitter of all time. So I get where you're going with that. I get
Yes, sir.
So, okay, Friday, Landon Knack's on the mound. Shout out to Landon Knack, first off. I know that they got taken out around, he only went 4 2/3, I think it was. So, he got taken out in the fifth. And overall, only allowed one run. He got, I think he allowed 5 hits, but he lowered his ERA to 2.08. So, after around 30 1/3 innings pitched in the big leagues, I would have to say that Landon Knack has been one of the best young arms in the game. Outside of, honestly, Skeens, he has the lowest ERA. So you're hearing something like that. Greg, are you comfortable in knowing that, like, moving forward, when we have guys like Kershaw, who we don't know when he's going to come back, you have Bobby, who's struggling since he's come back, you have Glasnow, who's nearing his career high in innings. Are you comfortable knowing that guys like Knack, Stone are able to step up? We'll start with Knack.
So we'll start with, if you want to start with Knack. So yes, I also think that Knack is in a situation which is good for him, where he's kind of spot starting. He's in the rotation right now, but because guys really haven't figured him out just yet. So he's the guy that can come in and strike a bunch of guys out. And he's not the hardest throwing pitcher that there is, but it's nice to see him come in and do those things. They took him out at the exact right time on Friday. They were in the 5th inning, and he did not make it out of the 5th inning because he gave up a home run. Then he had runners on the corners with 2 outs, and they said, okay, that's it. Time for you to come out. And that's the end of that. But he did pitch very, very well. And every time he's come in, he has pitched very well. But I'm not ready to put him in the place of Paul Skeens or even Gavin Stone. Gavin Stone, to me, is much, much better than Landon Knack.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the numbers. Sure, the ERA is great. But consistency, that's what it's all about. And like you said, he's been a spot starter. They're putting him in good positions, and it's, worked out for him. But you're seeing them do things with Gavin, which, you do with like your ace at this point. They're putting him in
Yes.
there as a stopper, essentially. So, I mean, he is almost putting up all-star numbers when you talk about Gavin Stone. I want to say hashtag get stoned, as Marcus quoted, try to
That's
get
right.
that started. I know the players, I mean, the association, of course, they vote, but if
Yeah.
Stone could be an all-star, that'd be amazing. I mean, he's doing it. He's doing the numbers, and he deserves it.
Yeah, Gavin Stone has been fantastic, and look, if he should be a All Star, whether he is or not is not the end of the world for me. We've seen too many guys. We've talked about it a bunch too. That we've seen too many guys that have been All Stars in the first half of the season for the Dodgers, and
Mm.
then what happens afterwards. I like it'd be great for him to say I am an All Star, and he's probably going to get it. But I need to see more going from him. It's not just the first half. He needs to do it in the second half as well. So if that means not being in the All Star game, cool. Whatever it is, he'll probably be there. He should be there. His numbers support him being there. And you're right. He is a guy that has been a stopper. When they bring him in, if they go on a little bit of losing streak, like this could have very well been swept to the Giants this weekend. If he when he comes in, he could be that guy that is a stopper moving forward. So it's nice to see that, especially when guys like Glasnow are struggling a little bit and probably needs some time off. Like you said, he's reaching his career numbers. He's 4 starts away from 21, which is his career starts. And you were telling me before he's what? How many innings?
Only 17 innings shy of his career high pitched. So,
That's 2 or 3 outings. So
yeah.
he's coming up on all of those things right now, and that's where I want to see how it's going to look moving forward with him. But Stone has been fantastic. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of Stone. It was nice that Landon actually he was the best pitcher this weekend, which was
Yeah.
not what I was expecting to say on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. And not what you expect to say when you have a weekend with, Glasnow. So, looking at that game specifically,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday's, Glasnow only going, I lost the number there, but it was only about 3 innings.
He went 3 innings. Yeah.
Yeah, not the best outing. And just overall, looking at his last 5 games, Greg, I mean, how are you? I know he's still up there in strikeout leaders, if not first. I think he's second now, actually, after this weekend getting pulled early. 8-5 overall on the season. How comfortable are you with Glasnow? How are you feeling? Because technically, he is your number one guy right now with Yamamoto out.
Yes, he is the ace, and I still feel comfortable with him. But these are things to consider when looking at Glasnow. Talking about all those things about him reaching his career highs in starts, reaching his career highs in innings, all of those things. Those are things to look at because he is starting to get hit up a little bit. He's starting to, show a little bit of signs of fatigue. And it's understandable if you've never done this before and pitched this much and or have to be the number one guy, you can
Mm.
start getting a little bit tired. It's a little bit concerning. I think he's going to be just fine. He's an amazing pitcher, and I know he's what he can be. Just sometimes he has off nights. He's just having a couple more off nights than normal, from them more than you want right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, what was I saying? Looking at his last 5 games, I mean, he's had 2 games where he's allowed 5 earned runs, but still,
Yep.
I mean, the strikeout numbers are there, and he's still going 6 to 7 innings in all of them, which is an encouraging sign when we're talking about where he's going to go, reaching his career high in innings pitched. So the fact that you're still seeing him go deep into games, go deep, high pitch counts, I think that's at least somewhat encouraging for Dodgers fans, knowing that there's no issues. You haven't
Yeah.
heard anything. You haven't heard any complaints, any soreness. So, as we say, knock on wood, but it's looking like a good thing for Glasnow moving into the second half of the season. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he probably needs a rest. I mean,
Mm,
he's giving up runs in bunches too. So it's not once he starts getting hit, he's not having that out pitch that's stopping
yep.
it. So like, that's why when we talk about a lot of the great pitchers and what you see out of them, when they're in trouble, they have that out pitch to get away from to induce a double play or to get a strikeout when you really need it or just strand somebody on third. He's not getting those right now. So maybe it is about rest and he's going to wait. I mean, the All-Star game is in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. So, or actually it's exactly 2 weeks, I think, but either way, he's going to get a rest around there. I don't think he's going to make the All-Star team. He very well could, but I don't think he's going to. So
Mhm.
that'd be a nice time for him to get some rest and really get ready for the second half of the season. If I was him personally, and if I was the Dodgers, I'd tell him like even if you get invited to the All-Star game, which again I don't think he's going to, I'd turn it down. and I would just get some rest until because of everything that we've been talking about, career highs, all those things, and to be ready for the postseason. It's not about the All-Star game. It's not about pitching in an All-Star game. It's about pitching in the postseason. So I would take a rest there, even if he does get invited.
I like that similar sentiment we've had to the whole Otani home run derby thing, which, by the way, you and I were talking about it a little bit before the show. The new home run derby rules, I don't know if anyone got a chance to
Very
check it
strange.
out, but yeah, I'll pull it up so that we can look at it again. But like the fact that you just have to
So it's
switch
it's
everything up,
3 minutes. They're doing a couple weird things. So it's 3 minutes now, and you only get 40 pitches. So you can't just let some of them go by. You only have 3 minutes in those first two rounds, and then the final
hmm
round, it's only 2 minutes and 27 pitches. So I think they're trying to not only speed it up, like slow it down a little bit, but also have it where you only get a certain amount of pitches. And also, if you instead at the end you get like 3 bonus outs. It's a very strange thing. The bonus outs was very, very confusing, but it's all based on like after those 3 minutes you get those
Yeah,
bonus
yeah.
outs. It's so strange. Look, I'm done with all this. Can we go back? I like the time limit. I'm okay with the time limit, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it happens to be. 10 outs. And if you
Boom.
get to your 10 outs, that's it. It's done. So like you get 5 minutes or 10 outs, whatever happens first. I don't care about the amount of pitches it is. It's on you to get to that point. But
Yeah,
having this whole weird thing, it's very strange, the limit on pitches. What if like then you have no control? What if your pitcher that you designated is not getting anything over the plate? He's just a little bit wild and you don't like the pitches. I don't know. I think it's very, very stupid. They keep changing everything, and I thought they had it right, and then it got a little bit stale, and so they're trying to tweak it a little bit, and now this is a dumb tweak.
yeah. It's just overcomplicating things. I mean, go back to the days of I don't know how we feel about this name, especially as an Angels fan for me, but Josh Hamilton. Go back to the
Yeah,
days where they gave him the 10 outs and he got the 28 home runs and it was like the best home run derby performance of all time. Now we're
right.
seeing things that are just so complicated. I'm like, is Shohei, I think it was 2021. I was like, is he moving past the first round? Is he
Yeah,
out? I don't know what's going on. And then, Juan Soto took him out. It's just, it's too much. And like you said, across all leagues, all-star games are just getting too complicated and too much. Be simple and just have some fun for the fans. That's all it's really about.
yeah, and they're also changing, and so it's not a swing off anymore. Now it's like if you hit it 425, let's say
Yeah, the
Shohei hits it
distance. Yeah.
425 and Soto hits it 424, Shohei moves on because he had went 1 foot further, and it's not a swing off. I don't know. I think all of these things. We're not clamoring for that many changes to this. This isn't something that needs to really be changed. So, again, just make it simple. If you want it to be 3 minutes, fine, make it 3 minutes. But I should maybe go in the middle, 4 minutes and 10 outs, boom, bang, done. And that's just how it is. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think they're making it way, way, way too complicated.
Yeah. As Ruben Flores in the chat points out, no one was happy with the All-Star weekend, so they're trying anything. They're trying to change something. I guess this was
All-Star
the
weekends are
best
stupid.
idea.
Like, let's
Yeah.
be honest.
No other way to
All-Star
put it.
weekends, there's a ton of money that gets involved, and they sell a ton of merch, that All-Star merch, and people go, and there's, the fans sit in the stands, and they get all that money, that extra money. So, but All-Star weekends are dumb. I mean, they're supposed to be having fun. The games suck. They're just absolute mess. Did you see who's actually in the celebrity All-Star game too? Nobody anybody
I
knows.
yeah,
Just
I did.
cancel it.
Yeah.
At that point, just cancel it. I don't. Who cares? There's people that nobody has any clue who these people are, and like
And
there's
then you
like
sprinkle in Pedro and the Jenny
sure, you're like,
Fish or
ooh,
something.
that's gonna
Yeah.
make it better because Pedro and Jenny Finch are in there. But no, most of it is all garbage. It's just it used to be really good, and that's what Anthony Gex is saying. Shout out to Anthony, but it used to be great, and now it is just worthless. Look, I'm not watching it. I'll watch
Yeah,
the home run derby because it's on while I'm sitting here. That's about it.
exactly. I was gonna say we could go off tangent about that pretty much all day, but why? What's the point? What's the point? We've been kind of negative on this Monday, Greg. Talking about pitching nonstop. But on the other end, I think I maybe already mentioned 15-10 overall in June. I know it's in the title of the video here, but
Oh,
not
is
too
it?
bad. And you've maintained the lead in the NL West. I think it's gone down half again. So it's about 7.5 now.
Yep.
Even though the Padres are kind of heating up.
On fire. Yeah.
Hey, outside of the Angels, Padres, second hottest team.
Are the Angels actually hot?
I don't know. They had a 6 game win streak.
No,
Actually, the Astro.
7-3 in the last 10. Good for them.
Unfortunately, the Astros are 9-1, and I don't want to talk about that. But
Yeah, they were always going to heat up. It was going to happen.
exactly. Let's talk offense. Talk Dodgers. Talk June Tani. The performance this month that we all saw. Greg, I mean, what was just your initial reactions to this whole month?
Look, he's been absolutely amazing. What
Mm-hmm.
else can you really say? Every time he comes up to the plate, he seems like he's hitting a home run, or he's getting on base, or he's driving in runs. There was a stat yesterday that was on the screen. Nobody wants to pitch to him with runners in scoring position anymore. He was like 1-for-1 in his last 11 at bats because he had 9 walks with runners in scoring position. Everybody's just putting him on base because they don't want to deal with him because, like we talked about, I think last week with Marcus, is that he doesn't have to swing for the fence. He doesn't have to swing at anything he doesn't want to anymore. And he's kind of found that mode because he's like, look, I don't have to swing at that pitch because if I don't get on, behind me, Will Smith is going to get a hit, or
Mm-hmm.
Teoscar's going to hit it, or Freddie Freeman, who's heating up, is also going to get it. He doesn't have to carry the load, so he's only swinging at pitches that he wants to swing at. And look what's happening. June Tani is happening. So there's a lot of things. He's been absolutely fantastic. I don't know what else I can really say about him.
Right? No, I get that he's historically been amazing in June. But it's interesting to see that, maybe this is just while people were kind of down on him for a little bit while he was struggling just a touch. I mean, even his numbers
Struggling.
Yeah, right. He was still hitting like 284. But the fact that every year he just takes about this amount of time to figure it out until he's boom, the best hitter in baseball. I think that's totally fine. I think that that's a great parameter to know that, hey, you're going to get the best Shohei right here, and it continues throughout the whole season. He'll have maybe a week or two where, he'll kind of strike out a little more, but this it just excites me because he's never been on a team that is 52-33 at this point in the season. They're going to be in the playoffs, and knowing that towards the end, towards September, he's still putting up close to numbers like this, it just really excites me because I think that this is what we're going to see in October. I mean,
look, I hope so. You hope so. Everybody in the chat hopes so. That's very much a thing that everybody is hoping because guys don't do that on the Dodgers recently. So, yeah, look, if he can do that in the postseason, everybody will be very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, 7 walks in the last 7 days. Like the pitchers are just, they don't know what to do with him at this point.
Why
so we'll
throw
see
to him?
Yeah, why throw to him at all? I mean, then again, you got guys like Teoscar and Will behind him, so sometimes you have to throw to him. It's been a very unique June, and looking forward to this July, this series against the Diamondbacks. I think that Otani, we're going to have to keep a close eye on him just to see, hey, can he keep up this June streak into July? But Bobby's on the mound tomorrow against the Diamondbacks, and we've been talking a lot of negative talk about the arms. Bobby's been a bit of a struggle, as Marcus says, on the struggle bus since coming back from the shoulder issue. Where are you on Bobby right now? I mean,
I'm giving him more time, but it could very much be like Walker Buehler. Like maybe he just came back up a little bit too fast, and they felt like they knew that Walker was going to go down on the IL. They gave him like 1 or 2 extra starts just to see what they can get out of him, and then he went on the IL, and they just figured they had to bring up Bobby. I don't know that for sure. I'm just kind of guessing, but it seems like this kind of makes me feel the same way as I felt about Bobby. How it came back too soon. He wasn't ready to come back up. He did it last year. He came up out of necessity, not out of want, and that's what it seems like it had happened again this year. He came up out of necessity and not out of want, and they feel like they have to have him up there. That's disappointing if it's the case. And look, if maybe he figures it out. I'm happy to give, everybody should be happy to give Bobby Miller as much little leeway and run time as they can possibly get. But if he's on the mound again today and he screws it and he's bad again, it might be time for him to go down again and go on the IL because right now you can get by with the pitchers that you have. There's other guys in the minor leagues that you can bring up. Landon Knack is getting things done. There's guys like we talked to about River Ryan could make a major league debut at some point. There's a bunch of guys that they have that can try and get some innings out of just to get everybody healthy. But all this kind of shows you that they need to go out and go get another pitcher. Garrett Crochet, there was an article out that they went after Garrett Crochet when they were in Chicago, and they just didn't give up enough minor leaguers, and the White Sox said no. Maybe it's time to be like, all right, fine, forget it. Here's that extra minor leaguer that you guys wanted, because Crochet might be worth it. So it's starting to get to that point where we weren't worrying about the pitching staff all season, and maybe now it is time to start worrying about the pitching staff, because you're talking about now Bobby Yamamoto out, and when we don't know what's going to happen to him. Walker's on the IL. We don't know when Kershaw's going to come up, because he was also, had a little bit of a setback, which is understandable for him. But Paxton just got blown up. How long can Paxton actually last? The fact that he's lasted this long was really exciting for everybody. Yeah. Hopefully that was just a bad outing yesterday, because that was just absolutely horrendous. But there's and Glasnow is reaching that tipping point on his, like we talked about, his career high. So it might be time to start going out and getting pitching and getting it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's all about just healthy arms at this point. And I think, to your point, guys like Paxton, the arms that are healthy, even when they're getting blown up, your hope is just that it's kind of an outlier. And I still do believe in Paxton a little bit. I think that they just jumped on his fastball, which, they had a good game plan against him, and it led to him just getting absolutely wrecked. But I think that they're going to get back in the shop. Him and Barnesy are going to talk it out and figure that out. So I still believe in Paxton as just somebody who's a healthy arm, can eat innings, and the offense will carry. And that's just another person that they need, whether it's Crochet or just any other name, honestly. Somebody who just doesn't get hurt, somebody who doesn't have shoulder tightness,
Yeah.
That's all that we could ask for in the Dodgers. But Greg, hey, on a positive note.
You're going to go to Chris Taylor? You're going to go on Chris Taylor?
We got to go to Chris Taylor. 9 for, I think, 9 in his last 20. Yeah, 9 for his last 20. He's getting hits, and Doc
home run,
wants to see him at third.
double.
Yeah, another.
Yep.
I think him and Kike went 5 for 7 with a home run, 2 doubles, and a walk yesterday. Yesterday. So you got guys kind of showing up, but Chris Taylor specifically was waiting it out. The best possible move. I get that they couldn't move on from him. It's not plausible. But Greg, where are you on Chris Taylor? I mean, is it time?
Well, I mean, you need somebody. You need some. Well, I don't want to say back, but he's playing well enough. You need somebody at third base that can actually play the position right now. He can move around there. Him and Kike too, but Kevin Biggio is completely worthless. There is no reason to have Kevin Biggio on this team anymore. The guy is either getting errors at third or standing watching pitches go by. He's not getting hits. He's not playing great defense at third. He is pretty much useless in that position. So yes, give it to Chris Taylor, who's actually getting hits right now. And they were always saying, like, we're going to give him 100 at bats. We're going to give him 100 bats. At 99, he started to hit. So, like, if he's starting to hit now, great. That's, everybody should be happy. If he's becomes a guy you can trust again, that's fantastic. Then you don't have to go out and get somebody else. But I'm still wary about Chris Taylor because of how his swing is. He's a hot and cold guy, and when he's hot, he seems to be getting really hot, and when he's cold, he seems to be ridiculously cold and bad. So let's try and ride out this spot before Max Muncy comes back. And what's up, Beto? But either way,
Beto Duran in the building.
We can have Chris Taylor go by, and Beto, we're gonna say hi. We're gonna see you in just about 30 seconds or 4 minutes here, Beto.
That's right. That's
Travis
right.
and Slubia coming up, and it's a Northgate Monday for Beto Duran.
Northgate Monday for Beto Duran. Enough CT talk. It was fun, and I'm happy for CT3 that he's getting opportunities, and that's all he can ask for. I know that he is extremely excited that he's getting the ops as well.
We need more Vestia. More Vestia.
You heard the man himself. Thank you again to everyone who tuned in. That's right, Greg. Vessia is our guy now. He's a Blue Review staple. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Shout out to LAX for helping us out here at the Blue Review. And, stay tuned. You got Travis to see what up next. Beto will be on with the guys talking and recapping what it was like over there at the Northgate Market Mercado. So thank you very much. We will see you next time. Thank you to producer Anthony, Greg Bergman, Ivan Parker Bell. It's the Blue Review.
See you. All right. Thanks, guys.